Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Jessica Pegula breaks down Wimbledon chaos as Coco Gauff and others fall out Lingers. It has been a wonderful year for the American women's tennis players, especially in the slams. But could it have been a little better? Well, the 2025 season started with an incredible AO triumph by Madison Keys. No one had literally picked her as a favorite in that tournament, but she stunned everyone by beating the world number one, Aryna Sabalenka, in a three-set thriller. It was followed by Coco Gauff's French Open triumph, and guess what? Even here, Sabalenka was on the opposite side of the net in the final. Other than these two, Jessica Pegula has also been in great form this year, winning 3 titles already this season. So, expectations were quite high surrounding these three at Wimbledon. But the result? We witnessed multiple setbacks in that tournament. Although Amanda Anisimova, an American, made it to the finals, Coco Gauff, Jessica Pegula, and even Madison Keys failed to impress in this tournament. Gauff went out to Diana Yastremska in the first round in straight sets. Jessica Pegula also made an exit after losing her first-round match to Italy's Elisabetta Cacciaretto by 2-6, 3-6, while Madison Keys was knocked out by Laura Siegemund in the third round. For Pegula, it was her first opening round loss at a major tournament since the 2020 French Open. It's really a bummer to lose. I haven't lost the first round of a slam in a very long time, so that sucks, she said after the match. Now, weeks after that disappointing exit, Jessica Pegula is entering her favorite part of the year, i.e., the North American hard court swing. Last year, she reached the final of the U.S. Open. How does she feel going into the 2025 City Open? While speaking on this, she spoke a little bit about major upsets at Wimbledon. Pegula said, "Wimbledon obviously was not what the result that I was looking for, of course. I think it was a weird Wimbledon, though. I think a lot of players don't have the results that they wanted. But at the same time, I won Bad Homburg, 3 days before that. I was playing good tennis." Jessica Pegula, currently ranked 4th in the world, has a win-loss record of 35-13 this season. Is she confident entering her favorite part of the season? In that same press conference, Pegula further added, "I'm just trying to focus on the fact that I was playing well, even at the French, doing well in Bad Homburg, even playing well in Berlin, losing a crazy match. So, I felt like I've been playing some really good tennis, and now I'm just, back on probably my favorite surface, and I feel like my best surface." As things stand, Jessica Pegula is currently the only player to beat Iga Swiatek, 2025 Wimbledon champion, this year, and this itself is a massive achievement. Despite her early exit from Wimbledon, her 6-4, 7-5 win over the Pole in the final of the Bad Homburg Open was really her standout performance on grass this season. What does she have to say about that match? And what was the reaction of the tennis world after seeing Pegula make an early exit from Wimbledon? Jessica Pegula highlights the big change that she has seen in Iga Swiatek's match just before Wimbledon. Jessica Pegula's Wimbledon exit was like a bolt from the blue for all the American tennis fans. Even American tennis legend Andy Roddick stated, "The Pegula one is the most shocking result of the first 2 days for me because her game is made for grass." He said that since Pegula is a ball striker, moves around pretty well with an incredible shot tolerance, her defeat is a bit shocking to him. Describing those successive upsets at Wimbledon, he said it was just chaos, but it was fun. According to him, this is what happens when players actually play tournaments outside of the mono surface. While analyzing Jessica Pegula's defeat to Elisabetta Cacciaretto in the first round, another former pro, Andrei Petkovic, said that she spoke to someone close to Jessica Pegula, and they claimed that Cacciaretto had played the best match of her career. However, according to Rennie Stubbs, Pegula didn't have a good attitude in the match. Jessica Pegula hit an uncharacteristic 24 unforced errors in that match compared to just 5 winners. Her performance was nowhere close to what she came up with in the previous tournament at Bad Homburg. Interestingly, during her recent press conference at the City Open, Pegula also shared a very interesting observation surrounding Iga Swiatek's gameplay. What did she say, though? While sharing her thoughts on the Bad Homburg final, Pegula said, I thought she was serving a lot bigger. I didn't really watch her much during Wimbledon. I'm not sure if that was better. But she was serving really big in Bad Homburg and playing good tennis and beating good grass court players. I thought our final was a really high level. It was super close. Jessica Pegula will start her 2025 City Open campaign against Canada's Leylah Fernandez. She has a 2-0 lead in the H2H record against the Canadian. Can Pegula overcome Wimbledon's setback with an impressive run at this tournament? Wimbledon 2025 was supposed to be a celebration, a tennis pageant of tradition, elegance, and sport at its highest level. But instead, it became a theater of upheaval, emotional breakdowns, shocking exits, and lingering tensions. And at the center of the chaos, albeit with a calm demeanor and a pragmatic voice, was Jessica Pegula, the composed American star who, despite a quarterfinal exit, emerged as the unexpected narrator of the Wimbledon storm. As the grass settled after a whirlwind fortnight, Pegula opened up in a candid post-tournament interview that felt more like a State of the Union address. She didn't speak as a victim, nor as a critic, but as a witness, one who stood still while the tennis world spun wildly around her. The calm before the storm. Heading into Wimbledon, expectations were sky-high. Coco Gauff, fresh off a dazzling French Open win, arrived as one of the tournament's top seeds. Aryna Sabalenka was hunting redemption after her heartbreak in Paris. Iga Swiatek sought to prove her grass court mettle. Pegula herself had recovered from injury just in time to be seated 8th, her steely consistency giving her quiet credibility. But no one foresaw the emotional powder keg that Wimbledon would become. It felt tense from the very start, Pegula confessed. Even in the locker room, you could sense it. Everyone was carrying something: pressure, expectations, fatigue. And then one loss here or one wrong comment there just set everything off. Coco Gauff, from triumph to turmoil. Perhaps the biggest shock came in the form of Coco Gauff's first-round exit. Facing Diana Yastremska, an unseeded but dangerous Ukrainian player, Gauff appeared unusually flat. Her forehand misfired, her serve lacked punch, and her body language was haunted. She lost 7-6-3, 6-1. The center court crowd was stunned. So was Pegula. She's the French Open champion. You expect her to at least get to week 2, Pegula said. But I think people forget how much that win took out of her. Coco is young, but she's human. The weight of expectation, especially for young women of color in sports, is immense. The loss triggered a media frenzy. Questions swirled about Gauff's preparation, her mental health, and whether she was pushed too hard too soon. She skipped her press conference, later releasing a cryptic Instagram story. Not everything is for cameras. See you when I'm ready. Pegula, who's known Gauff since her teenage years, understood. She needed time. I texted her that night and said, "Don't let one match define the year you're having." I think she'll come back stronger. But Wimbledon was a gut punch for her. Sabalenka's emotional meltdown. Then came Aryna Sabalenka, a warrior on court, but emotionally raw off it. The Belarusian star made it to the semifinals, where she faced Swiatek in a tightly contested battle that ended 6-4, 5-7, 7-5 in favor of the Pole. What happened next became tabloid fuel. Sabalenka skipped the handshake, refused post-match interviews, and later made a fiery statement on social media, accusing Wimbledon of emotionally draining theatrics and criticizing the cold energy of the crowd. It was completely unprofessional, Pegula admitted, referring to Sabalenka's actions. But at the same time, I get it. Aryna wears her heart on her sleeve. She's been through a lot. Maybe she just snapped. The comment drew mixed reactions. Some praised Pegula's honesty. Others felt she was too diplomatic. But in an era where rivalries often simmer with passive aggression, Pegula's willingness to address the elephant in the room was refreshing. Wimbledon isn't just a tournament. It's a pressure cooker, she said. If you're not grounded, it'll break you. The locker room divide. Beyond the courts, tension brewed backstage. There were cliques forming. You had the Eastern Europeans sticking together, the Americans trying to regroup, and then the younger players trying to figure it all out while surrounded by drama. Pegula revealed. It wasn't toxic, but it wasn't cohesive. One moment that underscored the divide came during a rain delay on day 9. According to Pegula, several top players were in the shared lounge when a heated debate sparked over Sabalenka's comments and the media's treatment of Gauff. I won't say who said what, but it got intense. There were raised voices, people taking sides. Pegula said, "I kind of just sat there with my protein bar and thought, yep, this is chaos." Swiatek, the silent center. While the drama unfolded, Iga Swiatek quietly carved her path to the title, defeating Ons Jabeur in a flawless final. The Polish star declined to comment on Sabalenka's accusations and avoided discussions about Gauff's early exit. Her silence spoke volumes. "Iga is laser-focused," Pegula said. "She's like a monk in a tennis skirt. Honestly, I respect it." But even Swiatek's camp couldn't escape unscathed. Her coach was reportedly heard arguing with tournament officials about scheduling, claiming players were being treated like chess pieces. Wimbledon issued a statement denying any unfair treatment, but the damage was done. The perception of favoritism and mismanagement added fuel to an already volatile environment. Pegula's own journey, stability in the storm. Amid all this, Pegula reached the quarterfinals, a solid showing. She defeated 2 rising stars in straight sets, and even dispatched Karolina Machova in a rain-delayed thriller before falling to Swiatek. "I felt like the last sane person at times," she joked. "But I also knew that wasn't true. I had my own moments of frustration." One such moment came after her win in the 3rd round, when a reporter asked if she felt like the adult in the room. Her answer was swift. "Just because I don't scream on court doesn't mean I don't feel pressure." But Pegula's unique position, as both a top player and a seasoned businesswoman, thanks to her family's Buffalo Bills ownership, gave her perspective. "I've learned not to get swept up," she said. "You win, you lose. The bigger picture is who you are when the crowd stops cheering." The fallout, what happens now? Wimbledon may be over, but its ripples are just beginning to spread. Coco Gauff announced she'll take a short break before the North American hardcourt swing, skipping the National Bank Open in Montreal. Sabalenka issued an apology days after her outburst, calling her behavior regrettable but honest. Swiatek, for her part, is reportedly avoiding media until Cincinnati. And Pegula? "I'm heading home, getting some pickleball in with friends, and then locking in for the U.S. Open." She smiled. "New York is home turf. I'm excited." But before she left the Wimbledon bubble, she offered one final thought, a message not just for her peers, but for tennis fans around the world. "This sport is beautiful, but it's brutal. We see the trophies and the outfits, but there's so much emotion underneath. I think Wimbledon peeled back the curtain this year. It was messy. It was human. And maybe that's okay." Epilogue, a summer of reckoning. As the tennis world shifts its gaze to the hard courts of America, one thing is clear. Wimbledon 2025 was more than a tournament. It was a mirror that reflected not just skill and glory, but vulnerability, exhaustion, and the immense toll of modern stardom.